Good morning. This is Carolyn, and I'm back in my usual spot, back in the crapper again. Hey, maybe if I need like another name for this channel, should call it Back in the Crapper again. Not exactly poetic, right? Well, okay. There's something to be said though about honesty. I don't know. That's just it. We don't get a whole lot of honesty, do we? No matter what channel you turn on or what station or whatever, there's a whole lot of negative and angry. And to do something different, why don't, instead of tuning in and attacking and finding flaw, let's find a person or persons in our personal life that is doing a lot of good and write that letter or that email. I know letter, it's like, God, what century is this? Email, text, and compliment them on what a good job they're doing, because that happens so infrequently. Honestly, if you go like on your Taco Tuesday and you have a really good waiter or waitress and you write a really excellent review talking about how nice they were and attentive, they are so blown away by that because it just doesn't happen in this day and age. Everybody focuses on the negative. But when you come back in there, that particular waiter or waitress will remember you for life and for good reasons. And isn't that nice for a change? But yes, I'm just going to circle back one more time, because when I say something positive, people don't hear it, but the negative things people focus on. Yes, I had put an ad out there at one time saying anybody who feels lonely, upset, want to talk about something to a objective person, no phone, X, just call and talk. And I got a person confessing to some kidnapping, and it's all investigated and all of that. And the person is indeed not really doing that. And it is the same person who I have known of for years. I just want to reiterate that one more time. I'm not being compliant or complacent. I don't care if the people that he was saying that he was abusing, he said there were people living out on the streets. And if you hadn't heard me say this before, but the claims that he was making could not possibly be true. I had a detective tell me, if you ever observe the phone calls and things I get, he said, "Girl, you are a freak magnet. You're kind of a creep magnet. Have you ever thought of just starting all over?" I said, yeah, kind of, but my past comes back to greet me, I guess. Some of those creeps are probably friends. But I couldn't say anything, so I just had to sort of back. But for real, a lot of people are just like stewing in their anger, and that's why. And I have a very good friend that does, no threats are ever made, contact politicians and tell them his feelings. You should always be able to do that, but don't make threats. That's just it. Some people just get so boiling in their anger. Here's sometimes what could potentially happen. You call because you're angry and you say something. Then something happens to that politician. Well, guess what? Even though that is so far from your nature and you really wouldn't do that, you just wanted to get attention because you're so frustrated. And I understand many of us are there. Many of us feel like we're in the grown-up version of Sesame Street with the politics that go on. But you're the one that has said something, so they have no choice but to check into your life. Now you're being looked at. And there's sometimes that the police are under a deadline to solve a certain crime, and you have, out of anger and imagination, when you should have been on subreddit or whatever that is on YouTube, writing these stories and labeling them as fiction, but you decided you were going to get attention another way, then they want to solve a crime quickly. You've confessed to something you didn't even do. If you don't believe that innocent people go to jail, there is a whole, I think it was 48 hours about that. What I'm saying is, why draw negative attention to yourself? For today, just today, why don't you find somebody, whether it's your server or the guy who delivers your groceries or your Amazon delivery person who put it there so neatly and knocked on the door, waited for you to answer. Find somebody doing a really good job and compliment them. Just to be a rebel, right? Do something different. Okay, well, in an hour or so, I'm going to go out walking. I've been extra tired, which is not good. I think that maybe part of that is too that I get complete burnout once in a while. I get so tired of everything that I'm watching and hearing, and there's a whole lot more people complaining than solutions ever really getting resolved. And I know I'm often one of those people that complain too. I mean, I think it's a lot of anxiety. You have in your head how you neatly have your day planned out, how it should go, and then all of the roadblocks are just, these little anxiety things. But anyway, enough playing, I was going to say amateur armchair shrink, but I'm going to say crapper shrink. All right, you have a blessed day.